Hello there, and welcome to Ignite Your Vision TV. This is the place where queen conscious women who have faced emotional trauma and brokenness can come to be transformed, inspired, and empowered to regain your sense of self-confidence and worth, realign with your divine purpose, rediscover your hidden treasures, and overcome limiting beliefs to get unstuck. I am your girl, Andrea, the Vision Igniter. I am a spiritual empowerment coach and the creator of the Process of Ascension experience, a queen's journey to reclaiming her crown. It is my signature coaching program, which is a multi-dimensional self-discovery process that helps queen conscious women like you who are ready to close the chapter of brokenness and reclaim your life. Okay, so this is part 2. And I want to just share with you today about the symbolism of April. April, I know, has come and gone, but I just had to get this out and share what that particular month really symbolized, as we talked about the butterfly, this being the year of the butterfly. Okay. So for those of you who may not know, before I say all that, I want to say thank you for coming to my channel and watching this video. If you could, please like and subscribe. Okay, so you don't miss any of the ignited treasures, is what I like to call them. But I want to share with you the overall theme for this year, 2020, which is to step out in faith, forget the things that are behind you, put your hands to the plow, don't look back, because now is the time for change and divine promotion. And you can find all of these videos under the Ignited Conscious playlist on this channel. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you this breakdown. Okay, April is symbolic of the number 4. Okay, and as we know, there are 12 months in a year, and the number 2020 represents the year, of course, that we're currently in. And so 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, we get the number 4. Okay, when we break down the equation, the number is 8. And for the month of April, it's on my heart to focus on this particular number as well. So the number 8 has a message for you as it relates to us collectively. There's this deeper sense of importance to you living on purpose and just getting the support and encouragement to begin a new life. Okay, because the theme for the transition from April into May is a new beginning and a fresh start. Okay, so the number 8, means a new beginning. Get a load of that. It means harmony, it means peace, balance, okay, abundance, and self-confidence. Okay, so it is the time for balance to come into our life, to be able to balance the material and the spiritual aspects of our life in order to experience this abundance of life that is waiting for you. Okay, it's time to be open and ready to receive divine authority and love. Okay, and see, when you've been broken, you know, there's a lot of hurt there. But one of the highest vibrations, excuse me, one of the highest vibrations is love. Okay, and in order to do this, it requires us to frequently just quiet our mind. Okay, you got to enter into the cocoon of what I like to call the cocoon of meditation. Okay, and quiet the mind so that you can keep your mind open to the divine signs and synchronicities that come from the Lord and his host of angels. Okay, and his angels can take shape in any form of our lives, whether it's through people, animals, numbers, excuse me, numbers. You know, it can be a message that you've heard, just listening. You know, it could be a song. However God wants to get a message to you, really, you know, they're channels of light, channels of hope. Okay, I classify this as his angels. for us here on earth. Okay, it could be a video you watched, it could be, you know, a song that's just randomly played. Like you could be in a grocery store somewhere, right? And I'm just minding my own business, and then the song comes on, and then it really strikes you and hits you like, oh, wait a minute, that's this song. You hear the words to that song? Like, you know, like for example, my son was watching a movie. It was just kind of a weird movie, but at the very end, this song is playing and it says, I choose you. And I'm like, did I just hear what that just said? You know, I'm like, I choose you. I'm like, okay, that's my answer, right? So it was like, wow, okay, Lord, I see what you're saying, you know? And then one time I was with a client, we were in Starbucks, and it really literally turned into like a session of empowerment because we were talking, and as we were talking and we were working through some things in Starbucks, it was like everything we worked through, this song came up that kind of confirmed the things that I was saying to her. So it was like one song had came up and it was talking about loving yourself and, you know, going back into time. And, you know, it was just very interesting how God moved in that situation. Okay. So pay attention to those types of things, because those could be ways that God can give you an answer, give you a word. Okay. And I can go on and on and on and share multiple different ways that the Lord has channeled different messages to me as I've been, you know, praying about things quietly and not, you know, sharing a lot with a whole lot of people, but just seeking the Lord about clarity and direction. And somebody will come across the path and they'll say a word that was right in alignment with what I was praying about as an answer, right? So just keep those things in mind, okay? So our next word is abundance, okay, as it relates to the month of, or the number 8. We've already talked about it representing abundance, but we're just going to dig a little deeper. So it's not just financial abundance. This is abundance in every area of your life, because I'm going to say this: God is in the details. I've heard it said the devil's in the details. No, he's not. God is in the details. Can't tell me that he's not. He certainly is. Because for him to create us, which are human beings that are created in his image and his likeness, guess what? He is so detailed that he knows the numbers of our hair that are on our head, right? He's so detailed that he took the time to shape our nose, really? Our eyes, really? Our height, our stature, you know what I mean? Like our genetic makeup. Now let's go down another layer on this, right? When I'm talking about he's in the details. He's even so creatively detailed that he even orchestrated the whole entire universe, right? He even orchestrated the parallels between our human body and the journey of Christ. Okay, the human body and how it's made, right? The human body and the way that it's made. I'm talking down to how we are full of energy. That if you take a piece of plastic and rub it in your hair and you touch it on something, it'll stick to it. So static creates static electricity, right? That even there's photons and synapses and electromagnetic impulses that run through the brain, like, and then the way the brain is created, the way our heart is created, the way our hearts continue to beat and pump blood all throughout the veins, and how the different layers of the body. I mean, come on, y'all. You see where I'm going with this? God is in the details, right? Okay. So, with that being said, he cares about every area of your life. So, having this in mind, you can start working on your future goals as it relates to the areas that you desire or to see improvement in, okay? So, don't panic about resources. Don't panic. I'm talking to myself on this one. Don't panic. Don't panic on the how God finna do whatever he told you or promised that he's going to do in your life, whether it is personally, whether it is in your business. Don't worry about resources. Resources is beyond money. It could be the help that you need to help you. It could be anything. Like, it can be the thing that it takes to help your vision to go from point A to point Z, right? You need resources. Sometimes those resources are in your network, meaning the network of people that you are connecting with and meeting and all that kind of stuff. Like, God has the resources strategically planned for you to get them to you. And if God is giving you a vision, or he's giving you a word, or he's giving you a set of instructions, trust and believe he already has certain things strategically aligned and set up along that path, as long as you're on the right path, you know, to get you to the next destination or the next course of the destination to help you get to the end of the destination. Okay. So with that being said, all these things are going to begin to manifest in your life as long as you are in 100% alignment with what it is that he is trying to do in your life. Okay, so as you continue to make yourself a person of value, you share your gifts. You don't have to be in the marketplace. Share your gifts. It could be a smile, you know, it could be just doing something generous and kind to your neighbor. You just, you know, however God wants to move on you, you know, maybe you create cards or something. God lays on your heart, put together a care package and pass them out. You know, it can be anything, okay? When you begin to make yourself of value and begin to pour out of your gifts, right, and share them, they are going to make room for you. And doors are going to start opening up, okay? This is just universal law, okay? Spiritual principle. What you put out, you get back. Okay? And then abundance is going to come. So you don't have to worry about the how and in which form. Okay? So I'm here to let you know that Howie, okay, I got an uncle named Howie, but how we finna do this, listen, is none of our business. How this finna go down? Like, how? I don't know. How? Okay? I don't know. Okay, but you have to trust the process, and this is so much easier said than done, because if you're not grounded, and if you're not you don't have your emotions balanced, and you have not been working on your mindset to put you in a place of being at peace and knowing how to channel your emotions to be stable instead of running rampant all through your mind, this is when this becomes hard. Okay, so for example, and I'm going to share this. For example, if you knew that you had a plan to do something, you did not quite know how the plan was going to come together, but overall you do know that you've been given insight into the situation to let you know that everything is really going to work out fine. The part you don't know is how, of course. In the midst of that, I want you to visualize, how would you react to a situation that you know could possibly come up that could put you in a place of being out of balance. So meaning, if I knew my light bill was going to get cut off, am I going to panic on how I react to that? Think it through in your mind. Think it through. How am I going to react? Because a lot of times things that happen in our life is all about how we choose to respond to it. Okay, but is your faith going to kick in? And will you begin to share and become a person of value, so that now you can open up this portal to be able to become blessed in whatever form, shape, or fashion, right? Because if God takes care of these birds out here that fly, they eat every day. right? You have to put yourself in position, because it's not going, the resources and things that we need don't just fall out the sky. We have to literally position ourselves to be an open channel, a proxy, a channel, so that it can be channeled to us. Okay. So we have to keep that in mind. And the channel opening is God's business. How God wants to deliver it to you is his business. Your business is to position yourself. Get grounded. Ground your emotions. Ground your feelings. Ground your thought. That's why it's important to enter into this cocoon of meditation so that you can reclaim your power to be able to channel these emotions to come under subjection to balance. Okay? That's a powerful place to be in. Seriously. And so what you have to do is be sure to remain in a state of gratitude because the abundance is going to come, and you don't have to worry about how and in the form excuse me, of how it's going to come. You just have to trust the process, and then your goals and the plans are going to manifest into your reality. So when you begin to show gratitude and gratefulness towards and for these things, guess what? You already position yourself to be successful and in position to already receive it. Because if you can acknowledge it in the physical realm before it even arrives, guess what? It's already done on a spiritual level. Okay. It's just taking the physical level time to catch up with the spirit so that it can manifest into this reality, or that this realm that we're in. Okay. So when we do this from a place of happiness and gratitude, you're going to allow more things to come into your experience, and then it's going to give you more to be grateful for, right? And as long as you value all the opportunities that have been given to you, you're going to continue to receive opportunities and blessings from God. It said the blessings of the Lord that maketh one rich and add no sorrow. It also says that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So there is no lack in the promised land. And once I've said this before, that the promised land is a level of consciousness. It's a level of thought. It's a level of being and knowing that, okay, if he brought me to the promised land, that means it's an overflow of abundance and resources. Okay. And I'll share this part too. When this whole coronavirus thing started happening and people were flooding to the grocery stores and things were just coming off of the shelves and this and that and the other, and we were running out of hand sanitizer and all that kind of stuff. And the thing that came to my mind was, your word said that the earth is yours and the fullness thereof, right? So that says to me, there is no shortage. The problem is my perception of where I'm looking for the resource is in the wrong place. Now, that particular resource may appear as though it is out of stock. But if I shift from what everybody else has been accustomed to, of what they think is the need, and shift that energy into another way to create the same type of need, or to have a solution for this need, then the resource is not depleted. It's just that it's coming in a different way. So for example, when people were saying, oh, there is no hand sanitizer, okay, I realized that I had essential oils in my cabinet that I knew they had antimicrobial or antibacterial I'm gonna say components, but it had those type of compounds in it that can help me to cleanse my hands, right? So what I chose to do was create like a hand sanitizer, but in a different way, and so I use that example to show you that there is infinite supply. It really is. It's all about where is your train of thought to see where the supply is. And sometimes you have to shift to see a different source of a supply that's going to fulfill the same need, but it may come a whole nother way. Okay. So now we're going to shift here. We're going to talk about self-confidence and how it relates to the number 8, which is also tied to a new beginning and abundance. And then it also is tied to self-confidence. Okay. So it is really time to fully believe in you. And speaking of that, this is so good. I wrote this down. It says, believe in yourself enough to feel comfortable expressing your unique creativity, to be the center of attention, committing yourself to a definite path rather than shooting in the dark. It's okay to move out of your comfort zone. Qualities to develop: self-confidence, getting personal, willingness to stand out or call attention to yourself. And that's what it means to believe in yourself. You have to be willing to do all of these things, right? Believing you're pure and loving soul, believing you as you believe in the divine. Like, you have to just know that if his love is just so amazing, right? And you tap into that, it'll start to exude in other areas of your life. And so when we go through life just facing challenges and struggles, we tend to forget how special we are. I know I have. You know, there was a time where I was like, I felt like I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. And I had this conversation with my sister. I was like, there was this time when I was working out. Let me tell you, I was gym rat. I was working out at least 2 or 3 times a week. I was attending the workout class. We were doing the ball. We did Zumba. We did hip hop, cardio. You know, I was getting strength training and everything. It was like, oh my God, that was the time of my life where I felt the healthiest. Like, I was eating really good. Eating good, like all my fruits and vegetables, getting my water in. Like, I had this burst of energy, like just, you know, I'm getting older now. So I realized, I was like, I don't know what happened. Like, I just had this attitude, like, I just don't feel like exercise. I just don't want to. I don't want to. And I was like, for me to go from being a person who loved to work out to, I just don't want to. I just don't feel like it. I don't want to do that. And I told her, I was like, you know what? I need to get to the root of why the heck I don't want to exercise. Like, I definitely would feel a heck of a lot better, you know, like if I just work out, you know. And so it finally dawned on me that me not wanting to work out was tied to not feeling worthy. Get a load of that. This unworthiness thing can be rooted deep. Rooted deep. So that told me that I was okay at one point in my life. Like, my confidence was like on 29,000, right? But something happened in my life that made me feel totally unworthy. And it was going through a broken place. It was going through emotional trauma that kept me in this loop of feeling like I wasn't good enough, feeling like I'm not even worthy to have better. I'm not even worthy to experience all of God's blessings for me. Like, I ain't even worthy to be fighting for. Like, and that's really what it was, because truth be told, when you work out, you got to bust through some stuff, like mind muscle connection, whatever barriers are there, like you got to break through them, right? I didn't even have the worthiness to want to fight to bust through these barriers, like, and that really got my attention. And if anything, it caused a light bulb to go off to say, wait a minute here. This is self-sabotage. Because if the enemy can get you in a place of just dormancy to the point where you just like don't do anything and you become sedentary, you can die that way, you know, a slow death, you know. And so it's important that we get to the bottom of what these issues are, what these blocks are, like get to the root of the matter, get to the root of it. Okay, so you have to be reminded of how special you are. And so if you've forgotten, I'm here to encourage you, Queen, to let you know you are special. You are special. There is so much on the inside of you, so much that is meant to be shared with the world, that is meant to be shared with the people who come across your path. Okay, and so when we forget that at the core of who we are and what we are, which is divine, we're divine souls, our purpose and mission is to come on earth excuse me, to express the best version of ourselves. Okay, and so when you begin to shift and believe in you, believe in your skills, believe in your worthiness, your talents, you take your personal power back, okay, and begin to become empowered and reclaim your crown, you know, then you'll have this beautiful life, okay, and you will achieve your dreams. You will have the confidence you need to be confident in your power and strength, right? It doesn't come from you, but it comes from the power within you, okay? It comes from the source, okay? And so what you're searching for is really within you. All of the love that you are looking for is on the inside of you. And when you shift it from receiving the love from the outside of you and turning it around and going inward and pulling from the love that is already there on the inside of you, it begins to just spill out over your life. And when that happens, you become like this magnet that begins to attract even more love into your life, okay? And that's a beautiful thing, okay? So it's just time to look inside of yourself, regain your confidence, and go out there and boldly get healed, but so you can boldly begin to attract what it is that you desire. Okay, and so if you are not confident in yourself, excuse me, you can't expect others to have confidence in you. You know, if you don't fight for you, you can't expect others to fight for you. Okay, now more than ever, you know, you are being supported. I'm talking all the way around. Even though you may not feel like you're being supported, excuse me, you're being supported. Okay, and so when you begin to exuberate self-confidence, you are going to begin to attract what it is that you want and need. Okay, but if you don't take that action, nobody is going to do it for you. So start today, start now. Okay, all your efforts are going to be rewarded and blessings are sure to come along your way. Okay, excuse me. So we have our next word, which is balance and reward. Okay, so stay focused on balance, reward, and fairness. Everything you put out into the world is definitely going to come back in the one form or another. It's just universal law. So you put a seed in the ground, and if it's an apple seed, it's going to produce for you some apples. Okay, if you don't like apples and you like strawberries, you put a strawberry in the ground, you're gonna get your strawberry vine. Okay, so think about that. Okay, and you want to make sure that the balance is good, because anything that's out of balance, it causes chaos. And so if you're realizing there's a lot of chaotic things that just keep on popping up in my life, is because there's something in you or in your environment that is out of balance. And now, in order to get that new beginning and that fresh start, it's time to cut away the things that are causing imbalances in your life, whether it be in your diet, whether it be in connections of people, whether it be relationships, whether it be the way you're going about doing things, or there's certain behaviors and certain patterns that are in your life, you know, whether it's generational things that have been in your life and in your family for years. Like, it comes a time when somebody got to stand up and say, you know what? I am going to be the generational curse breaker in my life. I'm okay if I'm the black sheep of the family. I am choosing to alter this karmatic course that has been playing out in this family for years, right? Somebody got to stand up so that the people that come after us can have a better experience up in here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, guess what? All you're doing is repeating patterns, and nobody's getting nowhere. And the ones that are coming up next are stuck also in this vicious cycle. And it just keeps going on and 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 on. But somebody at some point in time got to say, you know what? Cut it. Cut. Cut. You know, like, done. But that's going to require you to have to do things different. Okay? So think about, you know, how am I treating people? You know, if I treat people well, it's going to come back to me. It may not come from the people that you want it to come from, but it'll come back to you, you know. So we just got to know that for every action, there's a reaction. You have to know that when we start to take control of our lives, we begin to get back, or we begin to cut away the things that have hindered us for so long. Okay. So now is really the best time to start analyzing our lives. You know, are you happy? Are you not happy? You are the one to control your happiness. Happiness does not come from people outside of you. You have to know what makes you happy and move in that direction. Okay. So to know that if things aren't in alignment with you and what it is that you desire, then it requires you to have to change. It requires you to have to change your actions. Okay. This also applies to ourselves, you know. So if you're being willing to achieve balance in your life, then guess what? The balance is going to bring harmony. It's going to bring unity in our lives. Okay. So if you choose love, excuse me, and good, those things are going to come back. You're going to be rewarded by those things. Okay. And so, like I said, God is in the details, like down to the animals, the angels, the numbers, everything. Like, everything is there to support you. You know, say you're on this expressway and, you know, you're on the right path, but you got to take a brief break, you know, refuel, recharge, but you got to get back on that path to get to where it is that you're trying to go. You know, you have to know that, okay, all my needs are going to be met. Okay. Excuse me. So I want to share this part too, that in this whole thing of being balanced, it is your responsibility to stop playing small. Okay. You have to believe in yourself, be fair to you and everyone, and know that you are enough. Okay. You are capable of so many great things because God put great things on the inside of you. And you have to know that you are needed in this world. Okay. And this is the ignited conscious message to help carry you through from today into the month of May, to give you a beacon of hope, a beacon of light, to let you know that your new beginning is here. Okay, your fresh start is here. It's right now. It's the moment you come into agreement to say yes, and your actions say yes to this new thing that God wants to do in your life. Okay, so I just want to encourage you, queens out there, continue to push forward. You are worthy to reclaim your crown, reclaim your power, reclaim your life, reclaim your legitimacy, okay, to be the woman that God has called you to be. You are worthy. You are enough. You're more than enough, okay? And so I just want to encourage you with that. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, share it with people that you know who could be a benefit to it. And just so you know, I do have a Facebook group called the Process of Ascension Experience, and it is a company of women who are just like you. They're queen conscious women who have faced brokenness, but they are on this journey. They're ready to start this journey of reclaiming their crown, and closing the chapter to brokenness. Okay, and so if you need some support in that area, know that we are here. We're waiting for you, and I can't wait to meet you there. So if you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, please check out the information in the comments, and I look forward to connecting with you.